I have the Nintendo Switch, and I'll be showing you what to do in case your SD card is not getting recognized by the console. So here are a couple of things you need to do. First, take out the SD card and check that you've inserted it properly. So just go to the back of your Nintendo Switch, open that stand, and then take out the SD card. It should click when you take it out. So putting it in and taking it out, you need to press it in and you should hear it click, and then now you can be able to slide it out. Now with the SD card out, then you might want to check if there's any debris on the SD card that might be preventing the contacts from making contact with the switch. And then also you might want to check if there's any dust or dirt in there. You can even give it a dry blow with your mouth, or if you have a blower, just blow some dry air in there, and that should get out any dust or debris that might be preventing your SD card from getting recognized. Now the other thing you might want to do is check if the SD card is compatible. Now most SD cards are going to be compatible with the Nintendo Switch, but then also the other thing you want to check is if this SD card has been formatted in the correct file system. Okay, so we have different file system for storage devices. You want to make sure this one is in FAT32 file system. Now sometimes, especially if you used your SD card or microSD card in your Mac, it might be exFAT, and that might be causing problems. For most of the time, you want to have FAT32 file system, and that's the one that's going to work properly on your Nintendo Switch. So having checked all that, then again make sure you slide the SD card properly like this. So for the Nintendo Switch OLED, this is how you place it. Okay, with the contacts facing down, place it there, slide it in, and then make sure you push it in until you hear it click, and then it's gonna come back up a bit. Okay, so let's do this together. So push it in. There you go. It clicked into place, and the SD card is now in there and it's working. Now, we made a mistake because we did not turn off the console before we took out the SD card. That's something you should do before you take out the SD card at any time. Okay, so we're going to turn off the console right now. Give it a couple of seconds and then turn it back on. So now let's go and check out some other things. First, you might want to go into System Settings, and then under System Settings, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you should see System, and under System, you can keep scrolling until you get to Formatting Options. Select that, and then you can go down and select Format microSD card, and you can format the SD card, and keep in mind that this will delete all the data on the SD card. So before you proceed with this, you need to know that. But formatting usually helps with undetected SD cards. Okay. Now, if the SD card is not, or rather, it helps with making the SD card usable. But in case your SD card is not being detected at all, then you're not even going to get to this position, to this point. Okay, so let's go back and look at something different. Something else you might want to do is make sure your Nintendo Switch is up to date. Okay, so just make sure you've updated your Nintendo Switch. For most people, this is going to be automatic because automatic updates are turned on by default. So if you do those things, you might fix the problem with your SD card not working or not being detected on your Nintendo Switch. Thanks for watching. Comments and questions down below, and good luck.